Higher Expectations is a full-service recruiting firm providing comprehensive employment solutions and talent acquisition for our clients. Our teams specialize in finding advanced software developers as well as experts in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud technologies. Experience the higher expectations of working with a company that truly has a passion for finding and hiring the talent you need. Contact Higher Expectations today or find us online for more information.
Well, there we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Higher Expectations Live until we get a new title of some fancy show that we're doing. I am super excited to be with you guys today because I wanted to bring in somebody very special that I know pretty well. And I think she will be able to give us a couple of tips for anyone who perhaps isn't a writer. And I also wanted to give her some kudos because she's got a pretty big weekend coming up, as writers do and authors do. She writes books, and she's got one, and she's going to hopefully talk to us a little bit about it. So please feel free to ask questions. I am going to see if I can find her here in the green room and bring her in. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Tricia Lott Williford. Let's bring her in. Tricia, there you are.
Here I am, and the crowd went wild. I just know it. I just know it.
That. We have all these special things. Look at that.
That's very official. Tricia Lott Williford.
Oh, we've already got comments. Hold on, Trish. Let's see if I can. Marty says, great job. Megan is so proud.
Well, thanks, Marty. Thanks, Megan.
Megan, so proud and grateful for you, Tricia. Marty, thanks for chiming in. Okay, so where were we? Tricia, welcome to our show. There were a couple of reasons I wanted to chat with you. First of all, let's get rid of Marty's wonderful things. Thanks, Marty. Love it. We are also the we're also the technicians here. So sometimes, we don't have minions or anything running around that we can just say, hey, take the ticker off. So
hi, Betsy. Love you too.
And Hoot.
Oh, my goodness. How fun.
Cousin Trish.
Well, Peter, what did you want to talk to me about today?
I wanted to chat with you about a couple of things. I know you are an author of many books, and so let's do more of this. You're an author of many books, and so there were a couple of things I wanted to ask you before we really launch in and acknowledge all of the great work you're doing. But Trish, can I call you Trish? I feel like
you can. Some people do. People who know me really well call me that. Some people who don't know me really well call me Trish upon meeting me.
I always like to ask before I make it uncomfortable.
Do you?
I don't want that to happen.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes no, but so Trish, I wanted. There were a couple of selfish reasons I wanted to have you on here. Is because I am not a writer. And that's what I tell myself. I'm not a writer, so I get very nervous when there's ever any sort of writing to be done. So whether it's many times for me and in the business world, for all of us business people and entrepreneurs, it can be as simple as an email. And I can screw that up in a minute. But if it's content that I want to share with my audience of business owners, here's what's happening in the hiring market. And I get so nervous that I just put it off and I don't do it. Mm-hmm. So do you ever have this issue of, oh my gosh, what am I going to write? Or how do you go about doing it? Can you share with us?
Yeah, there's several good questions tucked into that. So one, here's what I hear you asking about how to create content and how to actually make myself write when I don't want to write. Right? Yeah. Those are the two questions.
Yeah. For me, it's fear. I can be on camera all day. Hi, love this. But when I have to articulate my thoughts, I'm so nervous that, oh, I didn't get it right, or my punctuation's horrible, or who's my audience, all of these factors. So,
Okay. The first thing I would say about creating content, because that's a big deal, and it's the hot discussion. We all have to have our platform and create our content and have fresh stuff that is unique to us. When I cannot think of what to write about, usually it means that I have spent too much time thinking about myself. And I need to stop and refill the pond, so to speak. I need to go out there and read something else. I need to immerse myself into the thoughts of somebody else. I know you've talked about how you love to read the New York Times every weekend, and that refills and refuels your mind every weekend with things to talk about for the week to come, business items. And so I think that it's important to stop and be thinking about other things, refill your mind with thoughts that come from somebody else, but also think about people who are not in your same field. Think about things and read stuff and listen to podcasts and things that are not all like recirculating the same information. If you're an author, maybe you want to listen to some business stuff for a little while and see what kind of things take root that way. If you're a business leader, then maybe what you want to do is look at the thoughts of creatives for a while and see if that gives you something new to take root. So really, anytime that I run out of content, it really just means that I've thought about all the things that I'm already thinking about. I need some new stuff. I need to put some fish in the pond. And I think also, part of it is being just be aware of the things that are happening around you. I just listened to a podcast interviewing, it was Tim Ferriss, and he had Anne Lamott on his show. I dearly love Anne Lamott.
And pretty big names, yeah.
I love those people. Yes, they are mentors in my life, though I've never met either one of them. And one of the things that she said, she quoted someone else, and she said, "A writer is one on whom nothing is lost." And I think that's so, when we look at that, the fact that you don't let things slip past you, the fact that you're forever I always have pens and note cards at the ready, or pens in my notebook at the ready, Post-it notes, or an app on my phone that I'm like, ooh, that's a good one. I need to think on that. I need to think more on that. So let yourself be someone on whom nothing is lost. Then when it floats past you, you grab it and you hold on to it and you put it in there in the machine, so that when you need to sit down and write next time, you have some ideas to draw from. So that's my first thought about content development. My second thought is you need to treat, I'm not the first one to say this, but maybe I'll say it in a way that people have not heard before. Treat your writing like an appointment. It is something that you need to show up for. Now, if you have an appointment with your doctor, you're going to show up, hopefully, respectfully, you're going to show up, but it doesn't have to be for 2 hours. They don't give you 2 hours of their day.
Yeah.
So you don't have to spend 2 hours writing. You can say, my appointment this morning with myself is going to be from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, and I'm going to keep my pen going for that amount of time. I'm going to be clicking on the keyboard for that amount of time. And my trick is I wouldn't even commit to 30 minutes at a time. I set my timer for just 10 minutes and agree that I'm going to continue writing about whatever I'm thinking about for these 10 minutes, dive as deep as I can. When my timer goes off at the end of 10 minutes, I'm going to reset it and I'm going to jump in again. Because if I tell myself from the beginning, oh my gosh, I'm writing for 30 minutes today, that or even longer, I will derail myself with my own expectations. But if I make them attainable and nuggets that I can chew on, then just 10 minutes at a time can add up to much longer than you even anticipated. But your doctor doesn't give you, my doctor does give me a full hour of her day because she is, that's how she runs her practice. But some people don't, and most people don't. And I don't get all of her day. I don't get 4 hours of her day. And so you don't have to give your writing and your content development all of your day. In fact, there is sometimes your most creative stuff happens within boundaries. And when you tell yourself you only have 10 minutes and push yourself to do that, then sometimes something really beautiful is born.
Thank you so much, because 10 minutes is not as intimidating as me freaking out or our audience, because of course I'm the only one that freaks out about this stuff, but 10 minutes is doable.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you for helping with that little tip to have people put pen to the page, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
you are a busy girl. Wait, I'm sitting here typing all the things that you are doing right now. Lauren, I do see your comment. We're not going to put it up right now, but we're going to address that at the end of our broadcast today. So thank you for asking that question. Trish, let's get to the other really important subject I wanted to broach. You have a new book. Yeah?
I do. Yes. Coming out this weekend.
And it is called...
It's called This Book is For You, and the subtitle is Loving God's Words in Your Actual Life. And
that's why I wanted to chat with you, because it's so hard to talk about God in the marketplace. And sometimes, so I posted something the other day about, can Silicon Valley find God? Their artificial intelligence is trying to find the creative being.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the fact that you don't have a problem. This is a central figure in some of your writing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be able to promote this book for you, because this book is for me.
Because we're kind of excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about, that seems like a pretty big topic to bridge in one book.
Yes, it is kind of a really big topic to broach in one book. This is, as you mentioned, this is my 5th book that is coming out, and in the process of writing those 5 books, each one is just a little bit different from the one before, which makes sense. Why would we have 5 books of exactly the same thing? But what I mean by that is that they are they're kind of memoir with a message. Each one is a little bit different, a different lens and a different aspect of life. And as I have done that, one of the things that I have said is that I am not going to promise to have all the answers, but I will tell the truth. And so in doing so, I have written for myself through my own process of expressing my thoughts and emotions and the things that I'm thinking through. And I've just asked some really hard questions. And along the way, some readers came along and said to me, Tricia, you seem to really love the Bible. And sometimes you tuck something into this. Sometimes you tuck something into what I'm reading, and you give me this deep awareness of the Bible. And it wasn't painful for me, though. It didn't feel like reading the Bible. It didn't feel like something that I should be studying. I just suddenly learned something. Can you write a book about how you actually fell in love with the Bible? Because
Wow.
You seem to love the Bible, but you also seem to be like kind of like me, like not a monastic academician, one of my favorite words. You're not a seminarian. Wow. Right? You're not, I'm not a nun living in a convent. I'm not a monk living on a mountain. I am a mom whose kids are, so far, 3 days in, they've been on time each day, but it's a ticking clock for when that won't happen, because often we're late for things. Mismatched socks, Lunchables in the public school cafeteria. Like we're getting by, you guys. Like we're surviving is winning for us sometimes. And so to actually be a person living her actual life, mismatched socks, late, scattered, just trying to get it done, and to love the Bible, can those things actually exist? And you know what I discovered, Peter? That's what they asked me to write was a book about the Bible that doesn't feel like a book about the Bible. And I discovered that is a very tricky balance to strike. That's hard. That is hard to do. I wrote and rewrote this book many times. But mostly what I really wanted to do, and I do think that we have landed in that place, is to be able to say, if there's ever been a time when you have thought or heard a Christian or a believer or someone who teaches scripture say something that you thought, oh, I don't know about that. That's not really for me. What I want to tell you is that a lot of us are carrying around this black pearl of a secret deep within us that makes us feel like I should love the Bible. I should know the Bible. I wish I did, but we're kind of past the point now where I can ask my questions. I should have learned this growing up. And I should have learned this long ago. How can I be a person who has gotten to this point in my life and I don't know this? It's kind of like when maybe you've had the experience if someone's called you by the wrong name for a long time and you've shared office space, you've passed each other in the hallway on the way to the men's room and he's still calling you Patrick. And that's not your name, but we're now past the point of correcting him.
Awkward.
Right? It is awkward. And that's how people feel sometimes about reading the Bible. They feel like, oh, it just seems like I should know where the book of James is, and I don't. And why are there so many books with the name John in the title? And why does Psalms start with a P? And there's so many real and valid questions.
Yeah.
And I kind of just wanted to put a handle on that door to be able to say it's not an exclusive club. You were invited, and this book is for you.
Amen. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And heaven forbid we could use a book like this with some wisdom with our other little charts and graphs and things that we bring to the office. Those two could be
maybe coexisting.
Yeah.
That's true. It's kind of like how some people believe that they can't believe in faith. They can't have faith because they believe too strongly in science, and they're not opposites. Faith and science exist together. And so your faith lens does not have to be separate from your marketplace approach. Those are not exclusive to each other, but actually can fuel one another.
Wow. It's almost like we can have you speak. I am now tickering on the bottom.
Ooh, I like that word, tickering.
Yes. Well, thank you. It's a technical term. You had mentioned that people had commented on your reading and blogging and things. This is where you would find you, yes?
This is where they can find me, yes.
And your thoughts, and when you do your 10 minutes at a time on whatever subject has been presented to you, then there you go, people. You could do that. Mm-hmm. Now let's spend a little bit of time on all of the things that you do, because you're juggling a couple of different things. So when you're not blogging all the time, you're doing something else. Oh,
yes, I have a podcast with my brother. It's called Let's Talk Soon. My brother is an actor at Disney World and a creative leader. And he is both a leader and a creative, and both a creative and a leader. And those are sometimes a balance that are really tricky to find strengths in both. And my brother and I have this podcast called Let's Talk Soon, where we hang out together and talk about the things that we are reading about, writing about, thinking about, and speaking up about.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And then, if I'm not mistaken, you teach writing, right?
I do. I teach writing. I'm a writing coach, and I also teach a writing retreat called The Pen and the Page. And again, this is how we just talked about how faith doesn't have to be separate from your marketplace approach. Faith does not have to be separate from your writing either. And this is a weekend retreat. I partner with Glen Erie, which is a retreat center with a castle down in Colorado Springs. And we talk about writing as worship, and how to create a spiritual discipline with your pen on the page that allows you to draw nearer to God and to know Him better and to know yourself better, to know who you are and who you belong to.
Wow. All of the things.
A couple things.
But one of the most immediate and important things is something is being launched this weekend. Am I right?
That's right. This book is for you.
If you're in Denver, the Denver metro area, right? You could come see you live.
Yes, we've got two events happening on Saturday. So the first one is going to be, it's two book signings. We call them kind of the low and slow and the fast and loose. So, right, the one happening, there's one from 12 to 2 at the Barnes & Noble on Colorado Boulevard. And we're going to be there. I'm calling it low and slow just because it's kind of midday and it's going to be just cozy, and that's how I foresee it happening. Come and get a book, and I would love that. And that's going to be at the Glendale Barnes and Noble. And then from at 4:00 down in Castle Rock at Ecclesia Market in a bar called Sinners and Saints.
Wow.
We're going to also have a book signing and book release, and it will be coupled with the very first live show of Let's Talk Soon. So that one's going to be bigger and louder and a whole lot going on. So depending on what kind of events you like to attend, we have one that is quiet and one that is nightlife, good time, but it's also they're both family friendly. So you can come to one, you can come to both. I will be at all of them.
Wow, just so many things. Tricia, at any of these events, they could get some of your other books too, because you told me you've written 5 under your own title, but you also write other people's books, right? That
I am
the gift of writing.
That's right. I'm a ghostwriter and a collaborator, and that means that I partner with other people to tell their stories. So there are actually a total of 12 books right now and counting. There will be 3 more released in the next year and a half that are my delight, that I just get to partner with people and learn their story and spend some time with them. And sometimes they're people who are kind of high profile, and they have a really important story that a publisher would really like to have, but they don't necessarily have the skill of putting the words onto the page. Other times they do have the skill and the passion, but they don't have the bandwidth because they're really busy leading an organization or running for office or affecting change throughout the world. Yes. So I get to know them and spend a lot of time with them and write their stories for them. So if there's 2 gifts that I have, one of them is listening and one of them is writing. And that allows me to couple those 2 things to listen really well and tell beautiful stories that are true.
Wow. I put your scrolling Tricia Lott down there so people could come to your blog if they wanted you to speak. Obviously, they could go there. Betsy wanted to know, a writer is someone whom...
Oh, a writer is someone upon whom nothing is lost.
Nothing is lost.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't lose that quote now, Betsy, okay? So don't
a writer, and I'm so sorry, I'm right now attributing it to Anne Lamott, but she attributed it to someone else. So I will track that down. But
I think it was Abe Lincoln.
Probably on his website and his podcast. Anything on the internet is true.
Of course.
And attributed to either Mark Twain or Abraham Lincoln. A writer is someone upon whom nothing is lost.
Wow. The reason I wanted to put this banner up is because, Tricia, if somebody can't come live and they aren't in the Denver area, they can still get your book and they get a bonus. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Let me show this, right? Is that the right place to go to?
I'm not sure, but I can tell them. So for just a few more days until we until we release. The book will actually be released on August 17th. For the next few days until then, you can pre-order your book. And if you send me a screenshot of your pre-order, and you can email it to Tricia at tricialottwilliford.com. If you send me a screenshot, I have the privilege from my publisher to share with you the free audio of This Book Is For You. So not only will you have the free audio at no cost to you, but also you'll get it before the book is released on Tuesday. So Tricia at tricialottwilliford.com. If you pre-order, send me a screenshot of... Right? Yes, perfect. If you pre-order and send me a screenshot of your pre-order, then I will shoot right back to you the free audio, which exists for just a few more days.
Well, here's why I wanted to sneak that in real quick, because it truly is a bonus. It's like having a conversation just like this. When you do an audio book, it's like sitting down with you and a cup of coffee and having a chat. right?
Well, I hope so. That's what I want it to be. And I recorded it myself. So if you like the sound of my voice, and I certainly hope you do, then I can ride around in your pocket or in your car with you or on your bike ride or while you're skiing down a mountain and read to you, because it's all in my voice. And that was really fun. So it is kind of like hanging out, just us together.
Okay. One more comment. Let's see who we have. A LinkedIn user. Good luck with the release. So we're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yay. All right, Tricia, any final thoughts? I know you're super busy. You've got other media events. And so I want to honor your time. And anything else you want our listeners to know?
Just that my name is Tricia Lott Williford, and if you Google any version of that, you will find books and blogs and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Audible. I am out there on all of those, and I'd love to hang out with you and talk about the many somethings that are on your mind and mine.
I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. I know you've got a busy day of media interviews and whatnot, but thank you so much.
You are welcome, Peter. What an honor to be in your presence today. You are a joy, and might I say, kind of handsome.
No. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to make sure that you got to chat with her. It's a big day for her, and I have read the book, and it feeds my soul because I get to talk about Jesus, the Bible, and that's who I am. And that's kind of what we do here at Higher Expectations. We try and raise the bar, make you think a little bit. Oh, we've got some more comments. Hold on. Let's see. We got Betsy. Betsy, thank you. Great quote. Oh, just started Audible. We can do, a previous title. Nice. That is awesome. And Mark, I got your note. Thank you for that wonderful LinkedIn comment. So, everyone, this is what we do here at Higher Expectations. We want to raise the bar. We want to bring in different viewpoints. We want to help you with things that you never talk about, which is writing. An author. I mean, holy cow. Who would have thought that, we could get such popular people on a book launch that's happening at any moment. So, as you have other questions for us regarding hiring, regarding culture, regarding technology, I may not be able to tell you all the keystrokes for programming, but for heaven's sakes, let's ask the question, okay? Because this is about educating us, raising the bar. We should have higher expectations when it comes to most anything you're doing, whether it's at your company or whether it's at your home. And that's what I've got. So, without further ado, hold on. Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to go all Mr. Rogers on you, but somebody's here in the...
Right here in the studio. Like,
holy cow.
Bailey?
Wow. And this is how live this really is.
Right.
So, hashtag sleeping with an author.
Oh, my gosh. All right. There we have it. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Love your show.